hand, by the way.
Hello, welcome to
Hey.
Podcassidy. I am here with the one, the only Jordan Davis.
Woo!
You're usually more enthusiastic than that, Jordan. You don't
I'm
have to
kind
be
of
so
tired
humble.
today.
You did say that you've had a long day, lots of meetings.
I have been in meetings since I woke up, no joke. And I just got out of the last one right before we started chatting. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. I'm trying to load the live on my phone, but LinkedIn hates me today for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. There it goes. I see everybody now. Hi guys. Hi guys. All right, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Beautiful. We got Kat here already. So
Yes.
wonderful.
So thank you for doing this. This is really exciting. Like I said, you were one of the very first people on LinkedIn that I chose to follow, and I regret none of it. You have made my LinkedIn experience so much fun. You and Max and everybody in that Discord, it's such an amazing community, and you guys post the funniest stuff, and it brings me joy. And all I want in life is to bring other people joy and experience joy myself. So to have a social media feed that is just purely happy all the time,
Yeah.
it's so much fun. So thank you guys for doing that. Thank you guys for doing these lives, for posting the memes on LinkedIn, because more people should be posting memes on LinkedIn.
Right.
I'm
Well,
on a crusade right now telling everybody to post their pets more.
I know. Well, tomorrow is Catter Day. So there's no reason for people to not be posting their cats on Catter Day.
That's right. But I got to post little June. Her tongue is always hanging out like she's an instant hit. I don't know when her tongue is actually inside of her mouth because it's always out. So yeah, I'll be sure to post June for Catter Day. Absolutely. Finley might get offended, and if y'all didn't know, he's down here. There's the boy.
You might have to introduce a Finley Friday then.
Finley Friday.
Yeah.
On it. I'll post them later. I can still post. I can't comment, but I can still post.
Yeah, and I mean, if you post, then you can comment on your own posts.
Yes, and I have been taking advantage of that. But also, I run the Canine Stroke Foundation socials at the moment, so I have that one, and I have the Vital Spark socials. So I'm just using those and tagging myself.
Yep.
But yeah, let's do this. I see a lot of people in comments. Hi, guys.
People already here.
You guys are
Lori,
awesome.
Kamari, Serena's here. We got Jordy and Margot here, and Renee and Andy. We got the whole crew is here.
Yes, all the cool people. I keep like sneaking all the cool people into the foundation. Like I'm like, oh, you're really cool. Get in here. But everybody has such a strong background in their areas that, like, thankfully, y'all know what you're doing, because I don't. I'm just here to try to make this team and make this foundation work, and y'all are bringing it to life.
Yeah, I mean, that is, we are at a time where there are a lot of skilled people that are unemployed due to the economy. So
it's rough.
You kind of lucked out in terms of like needing to find skilled people, because they were just here waiting to be picked up by you.
I mean, I honestly don't know why some of these people and most of these people don't have a better position already, because their skills are beyond anything I could have ever imagined building my foundation with. And that alone is going to elevate us so much, because y'all know what you're doing and y'all are pros at what you do. You have the experience, you have the wisdom, you can rein me in and point me in the right direction and make sure I stay on task. You know, that ADHD hits and I'm doing 12 things at once and kind of forget about things every now and then. But everybody's doing great. In fact, we are almost ready to submit our 501c3. I've got it put together. I've just got to fill in some soft details like our mission statement, and then we can submit that, and then we can start bringing in donations. And we're almost ready to submit our pitch deck. We had a great meeting about that today, about what the content should include, the slides that Margot has made. If y'all aren't following Margot, you need to follow Margot. She makes some really cool stuff. Her graphic design is out of this world. She made me a skateboard. I have to learn how to skateboard now. It has Finley on it though, so like I have to do it. I have to. She'll save my knees. There we go. I'll be rolling around town saving my knees.
Yeah.
I see Jordy commenting, y'all. Jordy is good with words. Jordy can make your words pop. You gotta help Jordy out. She needs something. Get her a position, but also don't take all her time because I really need her too. So like, but I really appreciate everybody on this team. It's a dream come true, honestly, all of you guys.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm a part of it. I've announced that I'm a part of it. That I'll be taking over the socials eventually. Yes. But I swear every day I end up seeing like someone else that's cool as hell added to it. I'm like, you got this person added? What the heck?
Yes. It brings me joy. And if people aren't aware, like I'm in this unique position of building this organization where I can offer a dream job. And it is honestly one of my favorite things to do to people in job interviews. Like, okay, we've done all the chatting, but like, here's what I want to do. I want to offer you a dream job. And doing only what you want to do and nothing that you don't, because we have a lot of overlapping skills. And then if you don't like doing that thing, I guarantee you somebody else on this team loves doing that thing. And the way that people react to that, it brings me so much joy. It like to see y'all's faces light up like, are you serious right now? Yes, I am serious. I want you to be happy so that my foundation works.
Yeah.
If y'all aren't happy, we won't thrive. So my priority is your mental health. And part of having good mental health is being in a position that you guys love, that you adore, that you're excited about.
Yeah.
So yeah, dream jobs for everybody.
Yay, dream jobs. Would you say that?
No, go ahead.
Is it your dream job?
Is it my dream job? I have never employed anybody. I have never worked nonprofit. I have never worked corporate. This is a brand new world to me. In fact, I run my own businesses solo very purposely because traditionally as an autistic woman, I'm not well understood. And I don't want to say I'm blunt, but I'm direct and it can be misconstrued. But this team gets me. This team and this foundation have pulled me out of the deepest, darkest depression that I was stuck in for 2 years. Y'all did that. So is this my dream job? I think I found it. I think I have found my purpose. I am definitely passionate about it. All I want to do is help people's pets and help them with their pets. Of course, I was a vet tech, but really as a vet tech, the way that we're trained is more like manhandling your animals than it is helping your animals. I didn't like that. I didn't like being the bad guy, giving the shots and drawing blood and holding them while they're getting things done. I didn't like that. There is someone joining our team. You haven't met her yet, but her name's Tabitha, and she is fear-free certified, an animal behaviorist. And I attended her lecture in Nashville at the DVM 360 Fetch Veterinary Conference. And the things that she was showing us, no restraint vet care. She can do a nail trim on a dog with nobody holding that dog. That's what we need. The lower stress we can have, like the better. That's what I want to see that med turn into, is everybody adopting Tabitha's methods for fear-free handling in the clinic. That would make life more enjoyable for everyone, including the pets. As a pet sitter, I have probably 600 clients. I'm a busy lady, and I can tell you The number of clients that listen to me when I say there is something medically wrong with their animal, I can count on one hand out of 600 clients. So it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
But with this foundation, all I want to do is prevent dogs and cats from having strokes. And those that do have strokes, I want to reassure their people that, yeah, this is terrifying, the witness. And it's terrifying not knowing what's going on. But I'm going to tell you why it's going on. And I'm going to tell you how to get through it. Because Finley has survived 4 times, 4 strokes since August. He's going on a year. 77% of dogs that have a stroke, if it's ischemic, which most of them are, they will survive past 30 days. And if they survive past that 30 days, they go on to live another 500 to 700 days. Finley's a year out and he's healthy otherwise. We've got him medically managed. His last stroke was on the July 4th weekend due to all of the fireworks. It sounded like a war zone for hours. Of course, he got hypertensive. Of course, he had a little stroke. But the good news, you wouldn't have even known it. He's already back to baseline. So you wouldn't even know that he just had another stroke. And that's because he's on the medications that he's on that I didn't know about in the beginning. But since he's on them, he's got his platelet medication. So he's not forming a lot of new clots. He is on his blood pressure medication to keep him from being hypertensive, which is what causes most of the strokes. And he's almost independent again. And that brings me joy. That brings me so much joy. He actually is able to be independent, but my poor sweet boy lacks confidence.
Oh, poor Finley.
So what he does when he is unsure, it's the most endearing thing in the world. He turns his little head around and just looks at me like, Mom. And I'm like, bro, you got this. Yeah. So the only thing that he's struggling with right now is standing up by himself. But he can do it. He can 100% do it. But he looks at me and I touch his handle. So he wears a help him up harness, which has a handle over his shoulders and over his back, his hips. And I just touch his handle over his hips. And he does all the work. I'm not helping him. I'm not pulling. So he can do it.
Yeah.
He just thinks he can't.
Oh,
so give him a couple more weeks of physical therapy and I'm sure that he will be herding the cats around the room again. It's annoying for me, but it's precious and he loves it. And June deserves it. She's a bully, so she deserves to be herded every now and then. For those of y'all that don't know, June Catter is my little black cat who is Finley's biggest bully, but also his biggest fan. She tries to cuddle with him all the time. She also tries to stand in front of him when he's trying to walk. So the boy who lacks confidence is also very polite. He would never barrel through her. So he just stands there and waits. It's precious. They are both just so precious to me. And of course, I've got Johnny Cat and I've got Noodle. They just, they're more independent kitties. June is glued to my hip.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what should we do? What should we talk about?
Okay, so we do have a couple questions. Jordy had asked if Tabitha was going to be offering classes for CEC.
If we're going to be offering classes for what?
CECs. I'm assuming the continuing education. I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yes, Tabitha has webinars already, and some of those are free. Some of those you probably have to pay for because CE isn't always free. This is time that people take to create these things, right? She also presents at conferences regularly. And we will be doing that as a foundation as well. We are actively developing continuing education content that will be free and it will be in a paid tier. So we will be going to veterinary conferences and presenting. We will have online webinars that are recorded and live. We will have online modules, and those free ones, we're going to set them up in a way that pet parents will also understand. So when you talk to me, you know I can talk with all the scientific speak, and it's just where my brain lives. Yeah. I struggle with the plain language communication. I fully utilize AI to help me get my point across sometimes, so I will admit to that. Our education level in the US reading comprehension is about at a 3rd grade level on average. I struggle with bringing it down to 3rd grade. The medical standard for the US government is 5th to 8th grade level. So Haley in HR, our amazing HR person, she had her daughter test out my brain, my canine brain atlas that has the plain language toggle.
Yeah.
No problems. And she's going into 8th grade, I think. So I think I'm on the right track. If an 8th grade girl can understand it, I think I'm doing okay.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we'll be doing all kinds of stuff for education, for outreach, to help vets, students, researchers, little Mickey, to help pet parents. Everything I create for vets, you're going to see it for pet owners too. It'll just be in language that you can understand instead of saying all these big fancy terms that I like to throw out.
And then 2 things. I don't know how you want to piece them together or if you want to answer it separate. Haley said, tell them about the brain, the dog brain.
Tell them about the brain.
And then Rob wants to know what symptoms to look out for because he has 3 dogs of his own.
Symptoms to look out for. That's the one that we're trying to nail down. So the most obvious symptoms that your dog is having a stroke, maybe a head tilt. Finley has a permanent head tilt from his strokes. I don't think it will recover. He did the first time that head tilt went away, but since October, he has had a pretty steady head tilt. It was almost resolved by January, but since January, each stroke takes a little bit more out. So he has this permanent puppy dog head tilt. It's the most precious thing. The other thing is their eyes might be moving back and forth or up and down all by themselves very quickly, usually. It's called nystagmus. That's a very common sign. Falling over or unable to stand or circling to one side. These are signs of imminent stroke. Now, these are also signs of what they call old dog vestibular syndrome. And that's going to be the first thing your vet throws at you. They're going to say, this looks like old dog vestibular syndrome, which is an idiopathic peripheral vestibular disease. So an inner or middle ear thing of unknown origin.
Yep.
That's what happened to Finley. He was diagnosed with old dog vestibular syndrome in August, but being in the profession, I kept a close eye on him and I watched his symptoms, and his symptoms looked more like central to me, but we didn't do any blood work. We didn't check his blood pressure. And because we didn't do those things, he had a massive stroke in October. So what this says to me is if your vet says that your dog has old dog vestibular syndrome, I want you to get investigated a little bit further. I want you to demand the senior panel blood work. So that includes a thyroid test. And if the thyroid is suspicious, you might want to do a full thyroid panel just to be accurate. And I want you to have them check your dog's blood pressure. Same for cats. I don't talk about a lot about cats because my knowledge isn't there yet, but it will be. So also for dogs, let me tell you Finley's symptoms. He acts weird. That's all there is to it. He acts weird. He acts confused. He acts like he can't see well. He'll refuse to take more than a couple of steps, or he won't take steps at all. I guess the last weekend of April, his symptoms were that he would not pee. Okay, he wouldn't pee. He was well past time to pee. We went outside. He was taking very hesitant steps. He was confused. He was exhibiting behaviors he would never willingly do in the 14 years of his life. He has never once willingly put himself in a narrow space, and he started putting himself in narrow spaces, doing figure eights between my car, my dad's car, and the house. And then he stopped and he stared at a trash can and he stared at a garage he's never been in. And even when we went out to the road, fail safe, let's pee on the mailbox, he wouldn't do it. So what I did was I checked his CRT. That's the capillary refill time. I lifted his lip and I pressed my finger on his gums to make the color go away. I lifted my finger up and I counted how long it took for the color to come back. It was less than 1 second. To me, that said hypertension. So I was able to get him inside, give him, he was on the lowest dose of amlodipine at the time, his blood pressure medication. I was able to give him an extra half dose. Do not recommend having amlodipine. It's not accurate. Do not do it. But it was an emergent situation. I knew he was on the lowest dose. I couldn't recall the highest dose, so I didn't want to give him a double dose. So I just gave him a half of an extra one within 2 hours, back to normal. Checked his blood pressure the next business day, got him on a higher dose. And he's been good, except for July 4th, but I can't even count July 4th. It was just so loud. So I don't even count that.
Right.
Yeah, so acting weird, if your dog is acting confused, or little things people don't think about. Small strokes can cause sudden blindness. So you're thinking your old dog suddenly isn't seeing well. Did they have a stroke? They can cause sudden deafness. Are they not responding to you all of a sudden? Are their ears clean? Maybe they've had a little stroke. So if any of these things pop up, your dog's acting weird, they have a head tilt, they're circling, or they're having trouble standing up, I'm going to recommend going to the vet, checking the senior blood work, seeing if they have kidney, thyroid, heart disease, or Cushing's. Those are your primary predisposing conditions to stroke because they lead hypertension. And hypertension is the number one thing that causes stroke, from what I understand. And hypertension is one of those silent diseases. You don't know until it's too late. The gap that I saw in veterinary medicine was that we weren't taking blood pressures. The only time we did it in dogs in the 10 years that I worked, and shelter medicine, emergency, private practice, corporate, really good clinics, really bad clinics, I've seen it all. We were never taking blood pressure on dogs unless we were hooking them up to the surgery equipment for monitoring. And in cats, if your cat's pupils are always wide open, I'm willing to bet your cat is hypertensive. And cats do not fare as well from stroke. Unfortunately for cats, they tend to have embolisms. They tend to have sudden death. They tend to have paralysis. The most common would be saddle thrombosis, where their back end stops working. Mm-hmm. Or worst thing that you can notice that doesn't kill them or paralyze them, their retinas will detach. That doesn't sound fun.
If I see that from Mickey, I will actually I'll jump out the window. I don't know what I'll do. I don't have it.
It's terrifying. And what I noticed in vet med was that the only time we were doing blood pressure on cats was when they already had symptoms. Now we know what leads hypertension. And so we know that if a cat comes in with hyperthyroidism or kidney disease or cardiac disease, you need to be checking their blood pressure. But how do we do that, right? How do we do that? This is the hardest pushback I get. It is really hard to get an accurate blood pressure in a dog or cat at the vet's office. White coat syndrome is real. Elevated blood pressure from nervousness is real. So what we're recommending, if you can't have a nice, calm, quiet room and you don't have 10, 15 minutes to wait for your pet to calm down, let's try to get it at home. Can the vet do a house call for you? No? Can they refer you to a mobile clinic to do it? No? Well, what about this? What if the Canine Stroke Foundation provides oscillometer blood pressure cuffs for clinics to rent out to those clients? Send it home with them. It's really easy. Show them how to use it in clinics, send them home with it, get an accurate read at home. And then start these animals on the teeniest, tiniest pill that is so old that it's cheap, amlodipine. Yeah. Stop these animals from having strokes. So yeah, symptoms. I will definitely be posting some information about that. I will make handouts that go through everything that we know, and I'll get that information available to you guys. Right now, what I can tell you is I did add something to our website recently. There's an emergency tree on the homepage. And right now it's just for dogs, but the cat one I do have ready to go. I just need to check its accuracy first. But it'll ask you the questions. Can your dog stand? Is there a head tilt? Did this happen suddenly or gradually? And it will tell you whether or not you need to go to the vet. and it will tell you how urgent it is that you go. And it will also give you a list of differentials. We're not diagnosing, but we will tell you if it's not a stroke, it could be one of these things. If it is a stroke, you need to be checking the senior blood work, the thyroid panel, and the blood pressure. So that tree is already on our website. Our website will be getting a very fresh look very soon. Margot has given a 5-minute mock-up that blew me away. It will look so professional. You will want to click on everything. So I'm trying as fast as I can to get the information out there for you guys. In the meantime, if you don't see it, you can reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to discuss this with anyone at any time. I'm always awake. And about the brain for Haley. Yeah, we're going to unleash the coolest thing. I have created a 2D brain for a dog and for a cat. You can click on every section of the brain and it will tell you what it is, what it does. You can simulate a stroke. That's the coolest part for me. So when you click this kind of stroke, it will then gray out the sections of the brain that will be losing blood flow. And it will tell you in clinical terms and plain language what that looks like for your pet. You can put in your symptoms. I made a symptom tree, so you can put in your symptoms to try to localize the areas of the brain that are affected. That doesn't just apply to stroke. That can apply to cancer, brain tumors. It can apply to infections. It'll tell you, like, this is most likely the area of the brain that is affected. I put a plain language toggle on it. The page contains, I think, 5 different PDFs for clinical quick references that are also converted into plain language for pet owners. It'll tell you every area of the brain, what it does, the nerves, the arteries. It is my proudest thing right now. I am having so much fun building it. And we are going to make that free and available, open access to everybody. And then we're going to do it a little bit more. We're going to release 2 different 3D versions. One is going to be made with CT images to cover hemorrhagic stroke because they pick those up better. Those are the type that bleed. Those are more rare. The more common one is ischemic stroke, so a blockage. And so we'll show those with MRI images. We'll make it totally 3D, interactive, have all the same features that my 2D versions have. And the 2D versions have 6 different views. So it's not just looking at it from one direction. You can look at it from every direction and inside as a cross section. We'll put that behind a paywall more than likely and send it to universities, teaching, corporations, whoever wants to lease that from us, because those are the people that are used to looking at those images. We might try to have a free tier to that. I'm still kind of working out the details, but it is the coolest thing I've ever created. I'm really proud of it. I can probably do a human brain. If you have some creature you really, really like, I could probably do it with that one too. But I can see this tool being used for many different conditions. Like I said, brain tumors, infections, strokes, anything with the brain, traumatic injury of any kind. I can see this being a beneficial tool, a teaching tool. Yeah. And like I said, it won't diagnose, but it will give you an idea of what could be going on. And it'll tell you if this section of the brain, so if you simulate a stroke with one artery and it shows you which areas of the brain are going to be affected, it'll tell you in plain language what those symptoms are. That's how I figured out that sudden deafness and sudden blindness were symptoms. I had no idea before starting that project. I'm still learning too. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to get that prepared. It's not ready yet. It has to be checked by veterinarians' eyes. Everything I release is checked by doctors. I will not release anything without it being fully reviewed by doctors, multiple doctors, neurology. That way we're giving you accurate information.
Right.
Yeah, kind of looking at the comments going, they're going crazy in there.
I know. Our next request was well, first off, Drew said that he knows people that could help with like the 3D.
Yes, we have a brilliant man on our team. His name is Tul Pirnat Tul. He is in Thailand. He blew me away with his interview, you guys. He created, before I ever talked to him, he made us an app to track grants and funding and outreach to those people, how they like to be contacted, how often it will generate the message for you. He also created a total reimagining of our website. He worked through a technology I needed to figure out for tracking eye movement. And he not only did that, I just needed to know how it worked. He found out a way to make money from it. He gave me a whole list of different things he can create with that one technology. That man, he's on it. He also has interest in creating image denoisers for CT and MRI images to help with diagnosis, faster diagnosis, accurate diagnosis. But we have a partner for that. So I'm setting up a meeting between Hawkcell and the two of us, because they already have that technology. Maybe we can build onto it. So we'll be discussing that. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. But anytime you guys have anyone you can recommend to help this foundation, I'm open to conversation anytime.
Yeah. What kind of help do we need with like graphic design and stuff? Because I'm trying so hard to get Serena over here.
Oh, Serena. Well, let's link Serena and Margot up and see if they can tag team some stuff. Maybe they can. I love Serena. She's got a little shark. And I mean, that's all you have to do to catch my attention. Just have a little shark icon. Like, oh, shark, friends. Yes. So yeah, Serena, let's chat for real. But Margot's on graphic design. Margot has already created new logos for us. She has created logos for merch that are the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. Little tilty guy. Full tilt is definitely my favorite version. Yeah, but we need a lot of help in a lot of ways that I haven't even thought about.
Yeah.
She did so we talked today about the brand book. So like you're almost ready to take over socials. So our voice guidelines are ready. The brand book is almost ready. We're going to give that over to you, and then you can run free with this organization. You can take it off, do your thing.
Perfect.
Oh, and big announcement, because you don't know yet. Ooh, we now have a COO. We have a chief operating officer. Yes. This brings me so much joy because Lindsay is so cool and she's so knowledgeable and experienced. She is going to whip us into shape. I am going to change around some reporting lines so that I can take some stuff off of my plate and focus on the things I need to focus on. But I can tell you guys what I do need very desperately. I desperately need a CFO. If you know finance, let's talk. I desperately need vets, more vets, all the vets, and techs. I want you too. And I desperately need human doctors and nurses. And why? Why do we need humans? If it weren't for human stroke survivors, I would not have known why Finley is the way he is right now. He used to be scared of life and everything in it and everyone in it. And now he loves everyone. We have to meet everyone. He doesn't pee now. He just wants to meet them and get pets. And he makes me meet every single human that he sees.
No, I absolutely love that.
It's adorable. I mean, he's trained to keep me away from people, and he's trained to pull me out of anxious situations. And it worked really naturally for him because he did it all by himself because he was so scared. Now we're meeting everyone, but he still pulls me out of anxious situations. He still will pull me away mid-conversation without a care in the world. Like, oh, we got to go now. And I wouldn't have known why that is if I hadn't talked to a stroke survivor. And she told me that her sense of memories were gone. So her sense of fear was gone. Her sense of connection was gone.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, after a few years, it started coming back. Dog brains recover faster than human brains. So there is a potential for his fear to come back. But I'm allowing him to do these things. I'm allowing him to make us meet everyone because it gives him a new socialization baseline. So maybe if those fears do start to come back, do you want that? Maybe if they do start to come back, he'll have this new baseline and be less scared. So my dog is a happier dog post-stroke. He got lucky. Most dogs tend to go aggressive. He got lucky. He's a sweet boy. He stayed a sweet boy. And then also, last time I did a live, somebody asked about pain. Do they feel pain during stroke? You guys see me go off screen because I'm giving Finley his water bowl back and forth. But you guys asked about pain. Do dogs experience pain during stroke? And all I knew to say was, I know that dogs have headaches. Stroke survivors pitched in and said it was the most intense pain I've ever felt. Indescribable. And also the most intense terror that they've ever felt. So this got my brain working. 1, do we need to do additional pain medication for these guys? And 2, do we need to sedate these guys for the 3 days of the stroke symptom progression? Do we need to give them something to calm them down? Is it safe to do so? We're going to find out. I hate the thought of my boy being terrified. That breaks my heart. And I wouldn't have known that had I not talked to a human stroke survivor. So we want human stroke survivors to talk to us. We want human doctors, neurology, cardiology, nephrology, internal medicine, and endocrinology, the hormones. We want it all. So if you know any vets, any human doctors or nurses, any vet techs, send them our way. We got jobs. We need to fill out our advisory panel. So that's very low time commitment, maybe 4 to 5 hours a month, if that. But the CFO is a big one. If I can fill out our CFO, then our C-suite will be complete. I think we've got people with the skills for everything else, but that doesn't mean we have everyone we need. So if you think you can help this organization, let's talk for sure. Absolutely. Let me do the whole dream job thing to you because it's really fun.
It is fun. It is.
Here, let me see if you can see the boy. Oh, the boy. Oh, there's Finley. So if y'all didn't know, I do meetings from Finley's bed because it's comfy down here.
So I know you've told me, but I think the people will want to know, like, when you had this idea, when you're like, I need to do something to help these other dogs, and you had this idea in your head, how did you make it into like a thing? How did you make this possible?
All right. So I'm going to say pure luck. I joined LinkedIn on April 22nd. I then went on vacation immediately. I was in South Carolina. And while I was on vacation, Dr. Natalie Marks with Vane, so the largest veterinary angel donor and angel investor network in the world, she connected with me on LinkedIn. I looked up who she was and I was like, oh, we got to chat. We talked. She told me, now this is a woman who listens to pitches all day long, so I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm proud of this. In fact, I saved the little AI companion notes from the Zoom meeting because she told me it was one of the most impressive pitches she had ever heard. And when she said that, I knew I was onto something. And it lit a fire. I got a website up like before we chatted while I was on vacation. I saw she connected. I launched a website really quickly in the middle of the night. I chatted with her. I heard those words and I ran with it. And she told me as long as I brought in the people with the backgrounds, the credentials to make it happen, it will happen. So I've run with it. And I'm not looking back. And I've done a lot in the last couple months. Y'all see me all over LinkedIn because I'm chronically online. So instead of doom scrolling all day like I was doing and being, depressed and hopeless and not knowing what to do with my life because the economy's dead and nobody's pet sitting, right? Nobody needs me because they can't afford to travel. I thought, maybe I can help other people. Maybe I can stop other people from having this experience. Because the last thing I want to do is see people terrified and traumatized like I was. It was the most terrifying experience of my life. I was so uncomfortable leaving Finley even for a second. I never knew when the next stroke was going to happen. It was, the first time I woke up and he was like that. The second time we were at a fossil festival all day and he was fine. He was meeting people. And when I went to put him in the car, he was hesitant to walk. And I thought, oh, maybe it's because the music is starting. But by the time I got him home, he couldn't walk. he couldn't stand. He couldn't control any of his legs. And then the third time, he was fine that morning. And I went to load him up for physical therapy. And again, he was hesitant to walk. And I thought, this is weird, but I didn't think anything more. And I put him in the car and I drove him an hour south of Nashville. And by the time I got in the parking lot, he had nystagmus. And this is the weird one. He had monocular vertical nystagmus. So what that means, plain language, his right eye was going up and down. His left eye was stationary. This is undocumented in veterinary medicine. I can't find it in any of the research, in any of the literature. I have it on video. So I'm writing a case study. We're going to publish it. We're going to contribute to research right away. That pinpoints a different area of the brain that has not been documented in canine stroke. So now we know they can have strokes there. And now we know what it looks like. Yeah, so I just wanted to make it easier for people because I didn't know what was going on with him. He had several strokes before I figured it out. Now that I know, it was his hypothyroidism contributing to hypertension. So hypothyroidism, so low thyroid, hypertension, high blood pressure. And the high blood pressure caused the strokes. So I got him on medication. He takes a very tiny pill. And then after that, I thought, you know, he was still having trouble. And I thought maybe we need to add a platelet medication. So I talked to neurology. I was like, is there anything else we can add? Like, can we go back to that discussion about the platelet medication that I was hesitant on because I didn't know if he was having hemorrhagic or ischemic strokes without the MRI? You don't know. And she said, yeah, let's do it. And so I put him on that. And now I'm comfortable to leave him again. Now I can go out to a girls' night, or I can go to a movie, or I can go do my job around town, seeing other people's pets, not worrying that I'm going to come home and he's had a stroke. I just want that for other people. I want them to have the peace and the calm and to know that, yeah, stroke is scary. Stroke is terrifying, but stroke is survivable. It's highly survivable in dogs. Most of them survive. 77% survive ischemic stroke. And Finley has even had the most deadly version of the ischemic stroke, which is a right-sided event. For some reason, right-sided events tend to kill them. He has survived that. And if my 14-year-old dog can survive 4 strokes and still thrive and still have a good quality of life, anybody's dog can do it. So we can stop dogs from being euthanized too early. We can stop the terror that people experience. We can now address the terror that the dogs experience now that we know that that's a thing. So I'm trying to show people that there's hope. And I'm trying to show people that, with Finley, he shows me every single week in physical therapy something he could not do the week before. It brings me so much joy because he gets so proud of himself. Like this dog used to be scared of ramps. So like if you were to go to one of those places where you can put your dog in the tub and give him a bath and they have to walk up a ramp. Yeah, I had to pick him up and put him in the tub. Aww. Now he will get on the ramp all by himself. He will go do the ramp by himself, do his cavaletti pulls, make a loop and do it again. And he just wants to keep doing it because, he's a border collie. That's just what they do. And he's proud of himself and he does his little tippity taps and he's just the cutest thing ever. So if my 14-year-old boy, who is very arthritic and who has suffered 4 strokes can do it, everybody's dog can do it. I can tell you this. If your dog has a stroke and they are locked in a tense position and cannot get out of it, unfortunately, they're probably not going to survive. But like I said, 77% of dogs do survive. So if your dog's acting weird, they have a head tilt, if they're falling down or circling, just get them checked out. Check their blood pressure, check their blood work. If they're diabetic or have thyroid disease or kidney disease or heart disease, check their blood work, check their blood pressure, get them started on preventative blood pressure medication, and don't have a stroke. It's actually pretty easy.
There were a couple other things that were asked.
Let's do it.
So Haley had mentioned a partner or sponsorships or a brand partnership. Was that in addition to? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
maybe that's something you told me before we went live. So go ahead, say it.
I had one goal for partnership, and that was Paul Prosper. That was the big one I wanted to land, because Paul Prosper makes the harness that he wears, the Help Him Up harness, where I can pick him up like a suitcase and I can support him no matter what on his body is not working correctly. They make all the rehab equipment that we use, the Cavaletti poles, the ramps, the cushions, they make everything. I reached out to their CEO and discussed, hey, I think we should maybe partner. And he agreed. So now all I need to do is send over an email and get the ball rolling. So that's the big one that I haven't really told anybody yet. So we've got that one. We're partnered with an MRI tech company for data. We're partnered with Vet Tech, a really great chronic health tracking app for your pets. It launches in the US sometime in the next 2 months, I think. It's live in Canada. So if you're joining us from Canada, Vet Tech, VETTEQ, it is available. You can upload all of your pets' medical documents. It will give you reminders to give medications if you program it that way. I live on a mode like silent mode. So, you can track everything from their weight, their diet. They added a blood pressure tracking system for me. So they're going to send us data, and we're going to send them plain language handouts. So if your dog has kidney disease, if it has hypothyroidism, if it has a stroke history, there will be something there for you to download and read about. Who else are we partnered with? We're partnered with quite a few at this point. We're partnered with Erconia Laser Systems. Erconia Laser Systems, if y'all have not heard of them, it's because they don't put any money into marketing. They put it all into research for the last 25, 30 years. They have 23 FDA clearances, and these lasers can do almost anything. It sounds like snake oil, but the best thing I can say is that one treatment gave me back full range of motion in my neck for the first time in a decade. And for Finley, one treatment kept him on his feet 3 times longer with no tripping, no loss of balance, no tremoring in his muscles or sliding out of his feet. One treatment. 2 treatments has him moving at least twice as fast, almost faster than his brain can keep up with, because he walks like a little drunk man with his cerebellar gait, but he's moving faster. That's 2 treatments. 2. They can also reduce neoplasia, so they can shrink tumors. They can heal bone lesions. They can heal wounds. They can kill viruses. They can kill antibiotic resistant bacteria, funguses. I don't know why more people aren't using these. I was able to take him off of his NSAID because of those lasers.
Yeah.
We're partnered with a dog bakery out of Nashville. They know Finley because we go in there after physical therapy. Finley picks out his own treats. I pick him out cakes or cookies. He eats icing first. He's just like his mama, icing first always. We are still open to other partnerships. I need to get in touch with universities. I need to get in touch with rescues and shelters and other products. We want to talk to Doggles. If you guys noticed, our new logo has goggles on it because Finley has no peripheral vision, and his left eye, I'm not really sure what all he sees out of it, but he pokes his eyeballs on everything. I swear, he just shoves his face into the bushes and scratches those eyeballs. So, goggles. He wears goggles. He doesn't mind them at all. So I need to reach out to them, or Rex Specs, or both. I don't know. We also are going to be doing a lot of merch. So if you guys need Finley's cute little face, Margot has created the cutest graphics. And we will have shirts, we will have hats, we will have keychains, cups, whatever you want, we can make it. And that will directly support us. So those donations will come into our organization to not only fund my people, but also fund people's pets. We're going to do a reimbursement model for funding people's pets for the diagnostics from the senior blood panel. to the blood pressure check, to the neurology referral, and the MRI. We are going to do a reimbursement model, kind of like pet insurance. If I can, I'm going to make it so that no money comes out of their pocket. It comes out of the hospital's pocket. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know if that's what it's going to look like, but that's, fingers crossed. And we're going to be doing telehealth, vet to vet consults, so that if a general practitioner has a dog or cat come in and they're not quite sure if this is neurology or if it's, something else, they'll have us to talk to. And then I'll be doing things on the caregiver side of that. I'll be doing consultations where pet owners that are going through this currently can reach out to me and get tips and tricks on how to keep their pet comfortable and happy and safe and what it looks like in the long term. So I'm trying to really help as many people as I can with as much information as I can. And also financially, because who can afford a $4,000 to $6,000 MRI? Let's be real. Who can afford that? I couldn't afford it.
Yep. Absolutely. Deland did ask how you're gathering the data and if you're training any models with it. Do you know that?
So we're actually working on doing that right now. Pirnat told he is going to be making us a system for that. We have Benjamin McGill already has data collection methods. So he's got forms to send out to people. We will be talking to dog trainers, to vets, to pet owners, and we'll be bringing that in. And those guys with the knowledge of how all that works, they're going to make that work. I don't know how it works. But that data will then, so that's our personal data that we collect, but we're also getting data from our partners. So I'm going to try to reach out to some online pharmacies. We'll get that data. We can use that, send it to our research team. They can make the connections. Right now, I have one researcher on a project working on the link between nutrition and cholesterol in our pets. If your arteries are full of cholesterol, you might have a stroke. So is the diet that we're feeding our pets, is that contributing to that? It contributes to strokes, to cholesterol in humans. If you eat a lot of fatty foods, you might have high cholesterol. Unless you're me, somehow I'm immune to this, like, go me. So if there's a link in our pets, that's something we need to address so that we can also prevent strokes in that way.
Mm-hmm. We gotta talk about fossils. We got 8 minutes left, so
I got you.
Fossils for so much.
There's the first fossil. This is an Angustidan tooth. Look at that curve.
Ooh.
I know it's blurry because I sit in the dark, but I found this. Actually, Finley found this tooth. Ooh. I have it tattooed on my arm. Again, I suck at this, but it's on my arm. Finley found this tooth at Fossil Fest. I was ready to go. I was cold. It was late. I'd been out there all day. I was ready to get in bed. Finley sat down in the dirt. So I kept digging. 2 shovel swipes later, I have this perfect museum quality tooth. This is older than a megalodon. This is the grandfather of the megalodon. They get a lot bigger than this, about 4.5 inches. This is a little guy, but it's perfect. It's my favorite. Finley found it. Another one. So this is a vertebrae from a dolphin or small whale.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's actually pretty lightweight too. Yeah, I've got a lot of these. On the flip side, so you can see it easier, here's a white version from a different, little further down the spine, also from a dolphin probably, or a small whale, a cetacean. So found that one too. It's a little broken, as it is. And then the big guy. This guy. This is very broken. This is very broken. But
yeah.
This came from a creature called a Basilosaurus. And the Basilosaurus is basically a whale with little vestigial legs. It looks really stupid. It's the stupidest looking creature I've ever seen. And I found that guy's vertebrae. I have another chunk of it too, but it's across the room and I'm missing a section, so I can't glue it together. So yeah, if you want to find fossils, my buddies, they run palmetto fossil excursions out of Charleston, South Carolina. It's just outside of Charleston. We have Fossil Fest with live music and food trucks and adults only because we're heathens. We all are digging in the mud, pulling up fossils, having a good time. There's merch, there's artists. We now keep an EMT on staff. We do meg wrestling where they dig a big hole in the ground, fill it full of water, toss a whole bunch of megalodon teeth in there that are from diving. So they're nice, big, 4 or 5 inches, and then turn people loose to find one. And you have 3 seconds after you find one to hold it up in the air and say, got one. And anyone can challenge you in those 3 seconds. It's typically pretty tame, but in May we had a couple bachelor parties join the fun. And of course, the boys are going to be boys, and they definitely wrestled and had a good time. I can say you're not allowed to belly flop into it. Those teeth are sharp. They're sharp. Yeah. And there's big rocks in there. And we had an 18-year-old kid, bless his little heart, he belly flopped, and he busted his head open. He's fine. He was concussed, but he's fine. He now tells people he's the first person to ever be bitten by a megalodon. So, he's got a story to tell.
That is pretty cool to be able to say.
Yes, and here, y'all can have Finley again because he's sitting up. Finley.
Hi, Finley. Oh, he's so freaking cute. Aww.
He looks at me like, what is this? Why is this? Yeah, so this is me. I love my doggy. I love my cats. I'm actually a cat person. Sorry, Finley. Finley's more like a big cat. He's never been one to bark or jump up or lick. He's the perfect autism dog. He's perfect. And my cats, I've got 3 of those guys, and they crack me up. June especially. I'm surprised she's not over here trying to interrupt, but she's had a big day. She tried to steal my grapes a little bit ago, so she's probably pouting.
I see, recovering.
I'm sure she'll terrorize me later while I'm trying to get things done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, to summarize, we're gonna be putting in our 501 soon, so we'll be official. We're gonna have our pitch deck ready to go soon, so we'll be funded. We're gonna change the world for dogs, cats, and their people. We're gonna change VetMed. We're gonna make it better for everyone. We're gonna make everyone healthier, because when your pet is stressed and sick, you're stressed and sick. And if there's anyone that knows about being stressed and sick, definitely me.
Yeah. Before we do our closing thoughts, you need to point your camera up and show everyone your Johnny Cash wall.
Yes, Johnny Wall. So one picture fell down over there. You can kind of see the empty space.
No!
This is the Johnny Cash wall. I like Johnny Cash. John Carter Cash and I sometimes have exchanges on Instagram. I really would like to talk to him and his sister about representing this foundation, because his sister and his dad, Johnny Cash, both suffered from misdiagnosis journeys. So they know what it's like to be told one thing when really something else is going on. And that's exactly what happened with my boy. And that's exactly what happens with a lot of these pets with strokes.
Yeah.
So if you have Johnny Cash questions, I can tell you all the things, and about kangaroos and about fossils, and obviously about dog strokes.
Where'd the kangaroo thing come from?
I worked with kangaroos. That was my first animal job outside of pet sitting. My very first cool job was working as a zookeeper in charge of the kangaroos.
Oh, so that's awesome.
I had, I think, 26 kangaroos, 6 emus, a black swan, a white ibis, some dingoes, all kinds of reptiles, some birds.
That's freaking awesome.
I had to walk around telling people everything there is to know about these animals in Australia for 30 minutes, nonstop, back to back, from 8 to 5 every day. Yeah. So I come with the kangaroo knowledge. Kangaroos are really cool. They're just weird, and they're cool, and if you didn't know, there's something called a tree kangaroo, and you guys all need to Google them because they're the cutest things in the world. Tree kangaroos. They climb trees and they hop. And they look like teddy bears.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions we need to address?
No, I think we wrapped it up right at the right time. And somehow managed to get the fossils and Johnny Cash and kangaroos all within those last 8 minutes.
Yes, we hit all the bases. Guys, I really
Yeah.
appreciate everyone that has tuned in. And if you're watching later, I really appreciate you guys too. You're welcome to contact me anytime about anything. I don't care. Anything. If it relates to something I can tell you about, I will tell you. And if I can't answer your question, I will find you the answer.
All right, perfect. Well, I was about to ask your closing thoughts, but it sounds like that was pretty much that.
Yes. Guys, just thank you. And thank you, Cassidy, for doing this and for being a member of my team. Like, you're a blessing.
Oh, Jordan, you're a blessing. I'm so happy to have met you. Thank you for coming on the show and for showing us everything about the foundation and just, inviting us a little bit into your world to see what was going on. Thank you, Finley, for existing and just being him.
That's right. Thank you, Finley, and for sharing his bed. He always shares his bed with me.
Right. Thank you, everyone who showed up to comment and was watching and had asked the questions. Appreciate you. Go watch Max's Chit Chat show after this. Let's see, what other announcements? Oh my God, there's like so many. Serena has her new podcast, Dear Me, her show on YouTube. Need to check out Serena for that.
Check out Kathleen. We got to rep Kathleen, man. She's the coolest woman, the sweetest woman, the kindest woman, full of love and joy. Y'all got to check her out.
I know. I love Kathy. And then next Podcassidy is Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Can't wait to watch. Thank you so much.
Yeah, everyone have a great weekend, and I will talk to you then.
Bye, guys.
Bye.